Did you know that in 2D action game Infernax, after getting off the boat at the beginning of the game and killing the first enemy, you can turn around and go home? Hello and welcome to Hidden Video Game Details, the series that aims to show you things that you may not have known about your favourite games so that you can look really clever in front of Owen Wilson. Don't forget to leave a like on this video, and if you do, I'll send you a pack of magic beans. Oh, and before we get started, I'd like to thank the sponsor of today's video, Opera GX. Now, I'm guessing that most of you already know about the CPU and RAM limiters that help to minimize lag, the excellent customization options, and the Discord and Twitch integrations which can all be found in Opera GX. That's why today I wanted to share some of the lesser known features, starting with the custom animated wallpapers. On top of the already crazy amount of customization options in Opera GX, you can now have an animated wallpaper that runs smoothly in the background as you browse. Now, if you don't want to leave your favourite Google Chrome extensions behind, well, you don't have to. Google Chrome extensions are compatible with Opera GX. And thanks to Opera GX's quick import tool, all of your bookmarks, cookies, and browsing history can make the switch with you. Also, if you use my link to download Opera GX, you'll have quick access to my last 12 videos, which should help you look really clever in front of at least one person. Opera GX also understands that not everyone wants to spend their time tinkering in the settings menus, and that's why they created GX profiles. Wanting to fire up a stream? Cool. Select the streaming mode and Opera GX will hide your private stuff. PC starting to feel a little slow? Select potato mode, which removes all the bells and whistles so you can browse without performance issues. There's loads of profiles to choose from, so get experimenting and find what's best for you. So what are you waiting for? Join the millions of gamers already using Opera GX by clicking my link in the description. Time to say goodbye to slow and sluggish browsing, and hello to ultra fast, smooth as butter surfing. Once again, thank you to Opera GX for sponsoring today's video, and without further delay, let's get started. Right, let's begin today's video with Doom 3. In episode 101 of this series, we discovered that you could save a scientist in need, who would then go on to open a previously locked supply cabinet later in the level. But it turns out that not all civilians in Doom 3 are friendly like the scientist. After grabbing your gear at the security checkpoint, you can mess with the crane controls, which will cause this to happen.
Hey, don't touch that.
So touching the crane controls without the proper qualifications will result in a telling off. It's pretty funny. Up next is Deathloop. Now, having recently released on the Xbox, I decided to head back to Blackreef to see if there was anything I missed. Now, of course, we have covered a lot of Deathloop in this series before, with perhaps my personal favourite detail being the guitar player who gets better as the day goes on. Unfortunately, after playing the game on the Xbox, there wasn't really anything new to report. Though you can make Juliana mad if you don't enter the library at the beginning of the game.
What are you doing? Is this going to be a productive day or not? Library. Choppity fucking chop.
Now, I did wait outside for around 10 minutes or so, and this was the only dialogue I heard, which is kind of disappointing. I mean, I kind of wanted her to get really mad. Oh, and I'm also pretty certain this dialogue could be heard in the PlayStation version of the game too, so I must have missed it in my original playthrough. Next up is a game that is all kinds of wrong. Who's Your Daddy is an online multiplayer game where you play as either a baby or a dad. The baby's goal is to kill themselves, the dad's job is to stop that happening. Now, I know what you're thinking, why are you playing Who's Your Daddy? Well, the answer is, I'm not. My son Freddie is. He's obsessed with trying to learn how to play games using keyboard and mouse, and thinks that Who's Your Daddy is the perfect place to practice. Now, I thought that Who's Your Daddy was relatively kid-friendly. I mean, sure, the babies will do everything to end their lives, but if anything, that teaches Freddie the things that he shouldn't do. Well, if you head to the parents' bedroom and check the drawers, you can find this. So in the bottom drawer of the bedside cabinet, you can find some moisturiser, lubricant, a boatload of peanuts, and a strange rubber object. It's safe to say that Freddy will have to find a new game to practice his keyboard and mouse skills. Next up is the brilliantly disgusting The Binding of Isaac Rebirth. Rebirth is a remake of the original Binding of Isaac, which itself is a randomly generated RPG shooter. So you may be wondering why I called the game disgusting. Well, have you seen the enemy design? Everything looks horrible, but kind of cool in equal measures. Now, even though randomness plays a large part in The Binding of Isaac, you can enter seeds to ensure that you start at a predetermined location. Not all seeds are meant to be taken seriously though. For example, if you enter Brown Snake as a seed name, this will happen. So wherever Isaac walks, a trail of poo will follow. Typing top heavy will activate big head mode. Entering Christmas will see Isaac wearing a nifty little Christmas hat. And finally, if you enter fart sounds, well, I'm sure you can guess what happens next. Next up is a game that I've been wanting to play for ages, but never got round to. Alien Isolation is a first-person survival horror game that sees you being hunted by a xenomorph. Now, in some Aliens games, the xenomorphs are nothing more than cannon fodder, slightly stronger enemies who could be dropped with a few well-placed shots. The Xeno in Alien Isolation is legitimately the scariest villain in any game I've ever played. The amount of times I've had to remind myself to breathe as I hid under a table in-game with the alien just a few feet away from me was insane. The motion tracker, which is pretty handy, only adds to the fear. I mean, sure, it helps to know that something is moving, but when you don't know if that thing is below you, above you, or just around the corner, things get tense. Now, the first detail from Isolation actually involves the motion tracker. After meeting up with Dr. Coleman, he will head to a different room to open the elevator. Well, if you equip your motion tracker, you may notice that the good doctor isn't alone.
There. I'll collect my things and we can leave.
Now, the reason I find this so cool is that this is a scripted moment in the game, yet the alien still appears on the motion tracker. The chances are that many players wouldn't have had the motion tracker equipped here as they felt quote-unquote safe. But for cautious players who did equip the tracker, they probably knew that Coleman's days were numbered. The other detail I noticed when playing Isolation is brilliant. After landing on the Anesidora, you can find this. So these pipes have been deliberately designed to resemble the xenomorph, and in a dimly lit corridor, it would be easy to think that you've just stumbled upon two aliens waiting for your arrival. I really enjoyed what I've played of Isolation so far, so if you know of anything else that might be worth checking out, let me know in the comments. Right, let's end today's video with the Deadpool video game. Now, we covered the Deadpool game in episode 98 of this series, where we discovered that if you wait long enough at the main menu, Deadpool's poses and costumes would change. Well, today's Deadpool detail can be found during the mission where you have to save Rogue. During this mission, you can take a toilet break, and if you wait long enough, you can hear several funny lines of dialogue.
Hey, you fucking hear about the ex, babe, huh?
Oh, what? You mean Rogue?
Yeah.
And dicks hang out here often? Get it with the dicks.
Dude, seriously?
Pee-pee song. I'm gonna sing the pee-pee song. Nice dick.
Haven't trained the old lizard since level 1. Dude, don't talk while I pee, alright?
That water is cold and deep. Yeah, I don't measure by length. I go by weight. Hey, blood in your pee's normal, right? It burns so good. I think I just passed a stone.
Oh, damn it, not the shoes.
Hey, buddy, want to give me a hand with this? It's kind of heavy.
Oh, not cool, man. Really?
Not one to judge, but why don't your drapes match the carpet?
Dude, don't look. I'm trying to go here. Hey, covered wagon. Haven't seen one of those in years. Disgusting. You know, you get head cheese under there. You know, I had a friend who had 2 holes on it. Called him Dose. Hey, look at that, buddy. Ever see anything like that was still white?
Really?
Wow, that is a whole lot of piss.
Yeah, hey.
So that's it. If you enjoyed this video, then leaving a like is really appreciated. If you are a fan of Easter eggs, secrets, and hidden details in video games, then perhaps consider subscribing, as that's what this channel's all about. Thank you all very much for watching, and I'll speak to you all soon.